Hey everyone, this is Jane A. Just gave a full debrief,
What?
just gave a full debrief before we started.
I'm just nodding and smiling.
Exactly. Man,
Listen, something I knew we're gonna get into like some stuff, but something so fun happened that I didn't even tell you.
what?
Booked my trip to Mexico
With the kids.
with the kids and the Hebs.
Oh, my heart.
Hebs and Hawkins.
Hibbs and Hawkins. Is the McDonald's going or maybe?
No, I think they're gonna do a different trip. They're also like at a different age of like,
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I think it's just important. Everyone does their thing.
yeah. So
Everyone.
I am like already so excited. And I know once March comes and it's cold and it's been winter and we get to go on an airplane with my kids and take them to Mexico.
I love it. I love it. Is it a direct flight from Moncton or what's happening?
Halifax.
Halifax. Great. I like that.
Yeah, the flight times are actually really good. So we won't have to sleep in Halifax.
Oh, I like that for you.
So the flight times are good. So, I mean, hopefully, like, there's always weather in March that I need to think about.
Yes, but remember, if it's a chartered flight, very rarely canceled, just like ours. Remember, our flight together was like there was like a red screen. It was like a like a friggin' a hurricane, but
Yes. Yes.
blizzard. And I was
Yes.
like, shit, shit, shit. And everyone was like,
Yes.
calm down. They never cancel chartered flights. And the girl was right. She's like, they can't cancel it. They have to get there. So it might be delayed, but they can't cancel. They have to get the plane on the other side.
Also, this reminds me that I need to nag my husband to get his.
Yes.
So Neil,
Got Noah's passports yesterday, and I thought I was fine because we just got back from Palm Beach. But then, like, I land, and then it's like I'm twitching, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not fine. I would love to go again."
okay.
Yeah, I'm like,
Wow.
"Oh, I'm so good till March." Like, wow,
Okay.
this really fueled my bucket,
Yeah.
which it really did. Which it really did. And you know what, Leash? So we all know how I am. I'm like, could not be more extreme. Let's talk to everyone and let's not stop talking ever. And let's not even have like a fucking moment of quietness. Like that's how I am. We all know that. But then there's the other part of me that's like, I would travel alone so that I don't have to talk to anyone. It's so odd how I am. So anyway, so I'm all the things. And then I think this is the perfect way. I said to Jeff, if we can prioritize one vacation a year, like the 4 nights, that was like, my mom's like, the kids are so good, Joseph and Emma. She's like, it went so smooth. And I could tell by her energy. Sometimes she says things and I'm like, your face doesn't say the same story or your tone, which is fine. She's allowed to be like, this is not my job to always take care of your kids. And I'm like, I know it isn't. And I love you so much for it. But she was like so positive and was like, nah, vraiment, they're so cute. Noah's growing up. Noah's funny. Noah is sarcastic and funny and so expressive, talks so much. Like he even got on his bulletin. Sometimes does not follow the stay quiet rule. And it was like he has trouble to whisper. Whispering is not his strength. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so
No, he yells like
he just like talks.
Mama.
I think
But
he
it's like
talks
it's
more than
actually
Dia.
what he's talking to. Oh my
He
god.
talks more than Dia, actually. Like he's not as much of a like student than Dia is.
Yes.
And so I'm seeing that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have more of the comments from him. I see Kevin in him. Like, imagine the comments from teachers for Kevin. Like, does not shut up, can't get him to shut up. Don't know where to sit him anymore. One teacher took away his chair because he would like do this and then put his feet on the desk, like tellement mal élevé. Like,
Oh, I
but
feel like Kevin would have been one of those kids that you actually they're so annoying, but you really like them.
1,000,000%. They're funny, they're
They're
smart.
funny, they're really are a good kid, but they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah. And they just know they bother other kids. So
Yes.
they feel like you're smart, but like you're bothering other kids that cannot be talking with you because I'm teaching, you know?
Yeah.
He's that kid. He was definitely that kid. And I was the kid that was more like no confidence, which is funny, but no confidence. Like every test, so worried, wants to obviously do 100. Wasn't as smart as Kevin. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to study more.
Yeah.
But it was more confidence. He was just like, man. So let's see how we're, raised by the same parents. And it's just, we're different, but we're so similar in certain areas.
Okay,
What
so
was I saying?
You're getting your, I'm not sure, something to do with
Okay, yes.
passport. Are you going on a trip? What's happening?
No, we're not. No, we're not. Jeff will murder me. But all that to say, when I got the passport yesterday, because his passport was expiring, it was like kind of out of my brain, like, oh, it's probably going to take.
Okay.
But it took 2 seconds. Like we got the passport right away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, we have his passport. But I'm fueling my little need to kind of just like go away with like Noah got his appointment at IWK. And I was like, oh, and it's on the Tuesday after there's no school on the Monday. And I was like, we could leave on the Monday and then the kids would miss Tuesday and like have a night at the hotel and the kids love the slide. And like, I love that kind of trip as well. So Jeff's like, okay, sure. So like that's in November. Anyways, what I was trying to say is this one vacation of like, Jeff being in conferences and I'm alone is a great, because I'm a mom of two. I'm not going to leave on a vacation alone. I think Jeff would be insulted. I'm just leaving on a week thing. Like, it's just not how our relationship works.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, this is a perfect way of like I had like from 9 to 4 of where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What do I want to eat? Whatever. Frig, I loved it so much. I'm like, okay, this might be my way for a little bit.
From what I took away from that, when I'm looking for my next husband, I'm going to ask Jeff if he has any of his friends that go to the conference so I can be the wife at the conference. That's what I took away from watching her.
That's what you to go. Perfect. We all different perspectives. Everyone has different perspectives of what is being said.
But Neil, my husband, who is British.
Yes. Okay. Passports. Yes.
And if you guys remember last year, I booked a trip to March. Do you know how good of price those flights were? It's because it was a March break. I looked at prices for flights and they're like $1,500 each.
Yes.
In March break.
It's actually crazy. And you were talking about Florida, right? Direct from
Yes, because I was like, oh, maybe we don't do Mexico. Maybe we just like go to Florida. And I was like,
no. So the only way you have that kind of price, well, first of all, right now, everything is going up, but in that industry of vacationing, like say, if I'm in Potence, the hotels, everything is, they're basically trying to they don't want you to go. Like, but a great way for you to obviously save on those flights, not March break. And also you literally have to book like a year before.
Yeah.
So like, I know someone that booked like a year before, like March for next March. Yeah. And she got the flights for $320. And she's leaving the week after March break. So not March break, but $320. And I was like, at that time when she sent me that message, like, hey, just booked for next year, I was in Florida. So it's like almost exaggeré to booking while you're there. Like, I'm not putting my limits here, though. Like, I need to spend this money before I go and spend money. Right. You see what I mean?
Yes.
At least a week until I'm back, so I look like a month later, let's say in April, right? We're back from our trip. I'm like, okay, we're going to do that again. The kids love cruising, whatever. And it was $475 each. So just like, and even hers, so it had gone up, it goes up. And then I looked and I saw the $1,500 and I was like, ooh, like people that want to go March break, they're not going to get the $400 direct flight anymore because it's high demand. It's high demand. People are wanting to vacation again. That's what's happening.
So if you guys remember that happened, I didn't even think that my husband was British. It's like, again, probably it's also Neil's responsibility, I realize, but not because I've created this life for him that I actually do everything. And I did also book the flight, and the house without telling him. But anyways, so it's the day before, you guys, and I am checking it in and he won't let me check him in. And I realize that he needs like a visa of some sort, like the morning before we're getting on the flight. I figured it out. Anyways, so now I will obviously check, but now we have to go to Mexico. Okay. So he's applied for Canadian citizenship. Yes. But obviously waited way too long. Okay. And his permanent residency expires in April
of 2024.
Correct. And his passport application said takes up to 18 months. So he, in the meantime, will need to reapply to get his permanent residency. And he's like, it's fine. Like, it's only expires in April and we're traveling in March. And I'm like, no, like we need to make sure. Because, sometimes you go somewhere. I know this is a rule for a passport, but if your passport is expiring within the next 6 months, it's like a thing.
It's a thing.
So here we are again with Neil and his maintenance level. So I just sent him a text because this moment just reminded me.
Yes.
I said, the deadline for your permanent residence application is this weekend, sir.
sir. Yes, sir. He needs to answer, yes, miss.
Anyways, I'm going to Mexico.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thanks. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be so good.
Because we booked so late, we're all smushed in one room.
Okay, all 5 of you.
But it is what it is. That was like, we did not have a lot of choices left by the time we booked.
It's insane though. Because I know you're saying last minute, but it's in 5 months though.
Yeah, but like, it's basically,
That's what's happening, huh?
that's what's happening.
Okay, then. So that's how you'll know if you like this type of, we have to just go and be like, do I like this one room? And
I
then
mean, at a resort, I hope I'm not in the room for a lot.
no, 100% not in your room, like at all, actually. Like
And
nothing in your room.
my kids are old enough that like when we're gonna go to dinner, like we all literally go to bed at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I need to like put them in bed and be quiet, like
No. I'm going through all of this.
the scenarios.
Yeah, all the scenarios. I'm like, well, first of all, we're all going at the bed at the same time. Pas de problème là. So it's just like how many beds is there and making sure everyone has space.
I think it's like the stuff as well. Like, you know, like their suitcases.
Yes. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to be super smart about it. Come,
Oh,
they bring nothing. You know what I mean?
you're gonna have to have that talk with Phoebe.
Okay. My poor Phoebe.
So
Although
there's
she has like just only a few things that she really actually likes. So we could like just bring those ones.
yeah.
Okay.
There's 2 beds and then there's a pull-out couch.
Okay. I feel like this is like a suite. Like I feel
It's like a suite.
yeah, it's gonna be fine. Yeah. I think it's also like your jam. Like you're like,
We love each other.
yeah, exactly. Like you like having them around. You know what I mean? Like during sleeping time.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like when you say like, oh, Alfie came and slept in my bed, like inacceptable. I'm like, absolutely not sleeping in my bed. So that's why I feel like this is your jam. Like, oh, do you want to come in this? Neil, do you want to sleep on the couch? This is your opportunity to have a different person sleep with you. I think this is,
I would love that. Everyone takes a turn.
oh, see? Oh, I like that for you. We
Okay.
have some really good vacations coming up in March. I think that I just need to, November is super busy as well. I feel like November is busy for you as well. Like weekend.
Yeah, like with fun things. Yeah, we have wine show, we have prom.
Okay, so you're going to the wine show. I felt like they had like a little bit more trouble selling tickets this year.
Oh, really?
Well, like 2-3 days later, it's like buy your tickets for whatever. And I was like, interesting. Typically it's like sold out in 1 hour.
Well, the Saturday night show always sells out.
Right.
But there's other shows.
A day.
I actually went Saturday day this time.
Oh,
I don't need to be a
enjoy
part
some day
of
drinking.
I just don't need to be a part of the extravaganza at night.
Okay, I see.
That's what it is. It's an extravaganza.
It really is. What's the date again?
November 4th.
4th. Actually, it ends up perfect. It's the Gallo at LJR, the one that I hope one day I will be.
Yes. So you got to keep that date clear, just in case.
Just in case. No, but I'm going because Jeff is on the committee.
Okay.
So we went last year. It was really fun. And then we're going again this year. And it is on November 4th on the evening. So, but I was like, I really enjoyed last year. Honestly, I really enjoyed, but I think I really enjoyed like seeing you going with me today. Like I just like all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this year gonna skip it, but maybe like next year I'll be like, oh, ready for it again.
I always go with my parents too. And
yeah,
so
it's a good tradition.
during the day will be better because it's like we actually like wine, my family. You know what I mean? Like we actually are there to try wine and test wine and talk about wine.
Yeah, you're actually the right person to go actually during the day. Like, you know, the evening is more of a show. Yeah. So I think the day you're going to do that and then you're going to go home or maybe eat a restaurant, whatever, and just like really enjoy the evening with your parents. I think this is a great plan. You're just crushing it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I see this for you.
Okay.
Okay, wow. So I have a few things to go and talk about. First thing is I want to say about, so you know how I upload videos on this like new AI?
I never know what she's going to say, you guys.
You never know.
You just never know what topic, where we are. Okay. Is it
okay.
AI? Is it Chat GPT that you use?
So Chat GPT is like something that I use to help me write content, but this is called I want to say octopus, but it's not octopus. It's like
sorry, what is the word you're using right now?
Octopus.
Octopus? Octopus.
Uh,
Halloween.
Uptus. Uptus.
Uptus.
No.
Okay.
Let's say, no, it's not Uptus, although Uptus is a thing. Oh, just want to mention it because I just saw it on my phone. Love sex education.
Oh, yay.
We are obsessed. Like we watch every
Yay.
night. Jeff's like, that is, we laugh.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, that, c'est fou. C'est fou. Like, we love
Where
it.
are you in season?
A what?
Like, are you in season 1? Like, are you just
No,
starting?
season, I think we started season 3.
Oh, you
It's not
started in
Octopus.
season 3. Interesting.
No. We didn't start at season 3.
Oh, you're at season 3.
Yeah, we are at season 3. Okay, don't know what the name is. Doesn't matter. So it's an AI app that you upload a video. It takes certain it like listens to it, and then it takes certain clips and it writes the captions. Do you follow?
I'm with you.
So obviously in all of the videos I upload, we say weight loss. Like, because we either talk, like sometimes it often happens. And AI puts a broken heart as a emoji every time weight loss is being said. It's interesting.
Is it because they're picking up loss? The word loss, I wonder? And
Don't
it's like
know.
broken heart with
But
loss.
they're like weight loss, and then it's like under it. Like a broken heart. And I'm every single time. And like loss, I mean, loss. It could have been anything. You know what I mean? I'm at a loss for words. Heartbreak. Like, you know what I mean? It's very interesting. Anyway, so I was like, what is happening? So every time I needed to go in and like you can edit what it says because sometimes they obviously don't understand my language. And so I like edit it. But yeah, very interesting. And then it got me thinking about how weight loss is a touchy subject or whatever. And I'm like, why? Why does it have to be? And then I'm like, we just have a lot of work to do in regards to like that conversation with our culture and our community. I know that there are other cultures where it's not a thing. And I think just in North America with diet culture, it was just like so intense. Like not every country, every part of the world went through the same type of diet culture that we've gone through,
Well, no, because we have such extreme privilege.
You're right.
Like in our, we have such extreme privilege that we have the excess of resources of food and then excess money to spend on services, whereas some other countries don't have the privilege of excess food or money.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Anyway, so that was one thing that I wanted to just like mention because I find that interesting and it hurts my heart every time. Also, like still to this day, whenever I'm like, your weight loss, I can see in whatever. But then you have some really good conversations with humans that are like, okay, so it's more like wellness mindset. And it's like, yes.
How amazing is that moment when you like, people are like, what do you do? And then you like tell them and they have the faith. And then you like explain it a couple of sentences and then they like really connect and you're like,
yes, 1,000,000%.
And then someone else is like, so you give them a workout program? And I'm like, no.
Why do they also, man, even that's a conversation. The whole connection to fitness and weight loss. Like, so it's more like fitness. And I'm like, I didn't say fitness at all. I don't even know where you got fitness. It's so interesting to me. I'm like
Two very different conversations, different journeys, different goals.
Different
fitness
goals.
And weight loss are not the same thing.
They are definitely not the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So a few things happened on my vacation that like captured my attention. And I thought, what a great conversation that I could have with Alicia and our people.
Amazing. Let's do it.
So, okay, I'll go to this one because this is a short one. I am out walking. I'm in a sports bra and my pants, and I stopped to just check different breakfasts. And one of the ladies is like, we have healthy options. And she starts pointing out the smoothie, the avocado toast. And so I'm like, cool. And so there are two things here. I'm like, it's definitely because of how I look. She thought just like she has been fooled because she doesn't know that you want the triple hollandaise sauce, eggs Benedict, extra bacon. I'm like, exactly. But like, it's like people think the way you look, and so that was like an interesting moment for me when she said that we have healthy options. And I'm like, would she have said that to someone that was carrying 100 pounds of excess fat, on their bodies? Like, we have healthy options. She would have probably said nothing. Or so it's just,
what's crazy? I wonder if you would have showed up in little shorts and a baggy t-shirt, she would have said the same thing to you.
Yeah.
Like just, she looked at your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if she would have said the same thing.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Also, on top
And
of
I was
that,
out on a walk, so I had like the earphones. I'm
yeah,
doing something active. I'm showing that I'm taking care of myself. So it's very
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
And also for me, when I hear someone saying that, oh, we have healthy options,
Mhm.
actually means we have nutrient dense options.
Yes.
Because that avocado toast and that smoothie bowl
Yeah.
could 100% be more calories than
Then
your
like 2 eggs, a
bacon.
toast, and bacon. Like for sure, actually, probably, honestly, because a smoothie bowl, 500 minimum, 500 calories minimum, lo. Like
Oh
that
my gosh, when I see people,
starting price 500.
they're like making, I'm watching it and they're like 2 frozen bananas, 1 cup of this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, this is fine,
Yes.
but I know your intentions are actually to lose weight right now.
Yes.
That, like, you know what I mean? Like I know your intention is to create weight loss and you're mixing it up with nutrients.
Yeah, you're mixing it up with nutrients, which is, it's gonna come together at one point. I truly believe that. I think that our message is not to tell you how it should look. Our message is just to teach you that you have access to weight loss. And it can look a million different ways. Your job as a human being in charge of your life is to decide what that's going to look like. And if you want to prioritize, we get people upset with us sometimes, you guys. They're like, you're promoting an unhealthy way. I'm like, who's not to choose? Who are you? Like, why would I? That's not my job. My job is not to tell you like it should be nutrient dense in a nutrient dense way. That's for you to decide. That is a part of your standards. Go and show up that way. Like, I just find that that's not anyone's job, not just you and I, Alicia, on the internet. No one's job. Literally, I'm going to give you the info. You decide how you want to create this. And I truly believe that at one point in your weight loss journey, nutrient dense foods are going to make its way, because you'll realize that nutrient deficient foods are very high in calories, do not make you feel full, and you're not getting the results that you want. So it'll be a part of the changes at one point. I truly believe that.
And same as fitness too. Like,
Yes.
like
You're
moving
right.
your body. Like, we tell people you don't need to move your body to lose weight. And again, people are like, I didn't say don't move your body,
Yeah.
but you need to know that you don't have to in order to create weight loss. But we see it all the time, women on years and years into their journey, and eventually it is more nutrient dense and they are moving their bodies, but it's such an organic, authentic progression
Yeah.
that they actually make it there, instead of, okay, now you're from a couch potato to babu. Like, we all know that doesn't work.
I think it's also ignorant to think that like just move your, like, go for a walk. I'm sorry, someone that weighs, over 250 or 3, that is hard. Like, that is hard. So like,
Absolutely.
I think we need to like focus on other things right now for the long-term game, other than going for a walk. Honestly, I think that I would rather have someone that want weight loss to be listening to content more than going for a walk, to be like, I think that has more of an impact on their journey. And I think they'll go for a walk when they know that it's time. Like, I truly believe that. Like, I think of Nadia, who's lost like 130 whatever pounds, and she didn't move her body until like, I think 90 pounds lost, because she started at almost 300 pounds. Like, being active is difficult, you guys. Like, it's not something, and I think it's just what they need to hear, these people, is that it's not needed for weight loss. Imagine if you think it's needed for weight loss and you're not going to do it because you don't want to at that point. And also you can't, maybe you feel like weight loss is not accessible to you, which is the opposite of what we do on the internet.
And even the flip, some people want weight loss, they go straight to movement.
Yeah.
They do not create a calorie deficit and therefore do not lose weight. And then they feel frustrated and broken and give up.
Yeah.
And doing an exercise movement that they actually hate.
Yeah. No, there's a big conversation there for sure. Okay, so
Yeah.
the next thing that happened, I arrive at the hotel and I see this woman that I remember from when we were back at the Breakers in 2014. And we had like connected. She was like so cool, so fun. She's like
Was she also a wife of someone at the conference?
No, she is the event coordinator.
Okay, wow.
So obviously wanted to be her 9 years ago, because I'm like, oh my God, I would love to create events and like whatever. So, because I want to do all the jobs before I die, remember?
Right.
So basically I see her and I'm like, it's her. And she saw me and was like, it's her. And I'm like, no way. And she's like, shut up. And so we like hugged, and we like hugged tight. Like, when you're really happy to see someone, you're like, oh my God. And we forgot our names. Like, I didn't know her name, but I knew. And I was like, if I had one guess, it would be Christine. She's like, Shannon. And she's like, are you, what'd she call me? like something like Delilah or whatever. I'm like, Jose, you're way off. We're way off.
Delilah.
Like something with a D. I don't know. It wasn't Delilah, but it was like something close to that. Dina. Dina is what she called me. Dina. And I was like, nope, Josie, but it's all good. Well, I didn't know yours. You didn't mine, but we know our faces. She's like, how do you look this good 9 years after, you know? And I'm like, she did not age as well. Like her face, I'm like, I literally like saw you. She's like, I feel the same. So anyways, and then I start to think about that comment and how it felt good to hear, but also just because I'm at a good place, right? It's not that I needed to hear that. It's not that like, I'm like, ooh, does this mean I look better? Like there's nothing negative that happened in my life that made me, you know, either lose the weight or keep the weight off. Cause I am thinner than the last time she saw me 9 years ago. Dia was like 2 minutes old.
Okay.
So I'm like probably 20 pounds heavier, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's the heavier then.
Yeah, heavier then. Yeah. So like, but I'm like, I don't think that's the difference. Like, she's not like, you lost weight. She's like, you look so good. And I think that I wanted to have the conversation with you, Leisha, about like how there's like a negative side to that. However, I know her intentions were good. And like, I say that to sometimes like Dia comes down with an outfit. She looks so cute. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, ton habit te fait vraiment bien. Comme you know, and then it's like, oh, should I not say that? And like, oh my God. So I want to say to people, like, we're all just doing our best. And sometimes it's like, oh, I said that. And, you know, you see a post and stop commenting on people's bodies. And it's like, yes, but I'm just trying to be nice. So I think intentions is really important as well. And sometimes just also, if you don't know what to say, don't say anything. But if you truly feel like, I want to say that you're beautiful, you look great, you seem happy, I think it's important, like it's positive as well. So it made me feel really good for her to say that. It didn't create like ooh, do I look better now than I did before? Like I didn't see it that way. All I really felt was like, I feel good. So I know she said you look good, but I feel good. So it all for me makes sense, you know? And I'm also someone
I know.
deeply.
That's a tricky one too. And I struggle with that too. I try not to comment on my children's bodies or even my friends' bodies or whatever, but then sometimes like Jillian's butt in her jeans, like when, you know, she wears clothes that fit her body, you got to tell her how good her butt looks.
I agree. So I agree. So I'm like,
But
the place, a time, a tone.
I also know her and I know what she is or is not going through.
Yeah.
Right. Because you could have maybe just gone through a divorce or just been ill. And those were the reasons for your weight loss, or really struggling with your relationship with food and you lost weight in a way that was like, you know, distorted. So it's so difficult.
Okay, so maybe that's the line. What a great reflection there. I think that's maybe the line. Like if this is someone you haven't seen in a while, or you don't know, you know, commenting on how they look or if they look really good. Maybe that's where we kind of like don't say, it's like obviously knowing if someone's pregnant or not, you know, like if you know they're pregnant, and even to this point now, because I've seen so many things on the internet, even if they're clearly pregnant, I don't know if that baby, like I know someone that like their baby stayed in their belly, but they knew that the baby was not making it, you know, like just so many things. So I'm like, I don't even want to be like, oh my God, when is it due? Just in case or something. You know what I mean?
Also, people are terrible, especially when it comes to pregnancy. It's like people think they have that. And the comments even then, oh, your belly's so small. Oh, are you sure there's only one? Mm-hmm. Like that, those comments like are absolutely.
I think it's actually like we say nothing when it comes to, unless again, you're a best friend, you know, the baby's safe, you know, that she's happy, you know, it's like, oh, ben, ça te fait tellement bien. Like, why not just like, like not like jokey, just like, and it's a friend and it's the time and place and the environment. I think that's also important here. So of course, and again, in her case, it worked out well, just like when you make a comment of someone that's pregnant and everyone's happy and it's like, great. However, you always risk that there is something awkward that's coming, you know? So if you don't want to be in that position where you're like, shit, I shouldn't have said that. And you know what? We all do shit. I shouldn't have said that. We all
yes.
And I think
Yes.
it's that experience that you're like, okay, now that I know this experience, I will not be doing that again.
Yeah.
It's that I think life is just a bunch of experiences of like, oh, I said that once and that was the response I got. I will not be saying that again just in case. You get what I mean? But if you've
Yeah.
always just said the same thing and it's always been good and positive, then you just feel like there's no harm in it, which again, it's just life experiences and we're all just trying to do our best. But I do feel like there's this limit sometimes of like, don't say anything, don't comment ever. I'm like, ben mon Dieu, are we not like talking ever? Like,
I know.
you know what
And
I
maybe
mean?
it's like the wording, you know, like I don't think it's ever necessary to say, "Oh my gosh, you lost weight. You look so good." Like I don't think that's necessary, but oh, you're glowing or you seem happy or, and with the kids, I try not to comment on their bodies, but like sometimes they come down and it's the cutest outfit. And sometimes they'll say, like, oh, that's such a good vibe, or that's your vibe, or
Yeah.
do you feel comfortable in that? I
That's a
love
good look. That's a good look. Like I like their look. Yeah, like Dia this morning, I'm like, love these two pieces together. That was a good. But they really like she looks so good. You know what I mean? Their little bum and like everything is like so.
her little bum.
Their little bum. You know?
Does Dia, will she like put an outfit on and then like it's done? Or is it like there's teenager clothes everywhere?
No, one outfit she's done. She's pretty chill.
Oh,
It's pretty chill.
Piper is now really intense with her clothes.
Oh, okay. Oh, both your girls.
Neil's like, what is taking them so long up there? I'm like, they're trying on 75 outfits.
Yeah, and Dia loves to shop. However, she doesn't like take a long time. She like typically puts on one thing and yeah, there's nothing happening. She like it's
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds good.
So
That
far,
sounds nice.
so far so good. I mean,
Sounds nice.
she can change next year.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's a good conversation, just like everything else. Like I don't know, time, place, if you know the person. Like sometimes I know that the person is going through something because of just something I've heard. So, and then I see them and I'm like, oh, wow, they've really lost a lot of weight. You know what I mean? Definitely will not be like, you look good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, hi, how are you? You know? Um, but the other day I said it and I said it in front of Dia and I was like, oh, so I saw this guy that I went to school with and in school he was really big. And then I saw him at Sobeys and he's like, hey, and I was like, I just said, tu parais bien. Like, tu parais bien, as in like he looked really good. Oh, and it's like, you look good, you know? So I said, oh, tu parais vraiment bien. Puis il va toi aussi. And I was like, thank you. And that was like very positive. I felt like it was good, but at the same time, I had that moment right after. I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck
You
he's
guys
talking
were
to.
almost both saying to each other, good for you. You've taken
Yeah,
care of
it's the
yourself.
tone. Tu parais vraiment bien. Like, bien, heureux, you know, like, tu peux dire, like, it's like in that, it's like a vibe, it's like an energy. And I felt that that's what the girl, when she saw me, I felt like that's what she was saying to me. Like, that the energy was there and that, you know, sometimes you can really feel it. And it's not like, hi, you know, don't be like, hello. Like, you know, I think it's, oh, you look so good. I think it's important to, obviously, let's not always look at what people look like as well. Huh? Just like, hey, I haven't seen you in 10 years. What the fuck have you been up to? You know, not just how they look. But it's hard. It's hard because it's what we see. It's what we
It's
see.
hard. It's what we see. And it's still at the end of the day, I'm sorry. We can all pretend, but our society is still valuing very much physical appearance. Like that's just it's high up there in our society's values. It just is.
It really just is. And I think in our own little world, not judging other people and how they value it more than you or whatever, just I'm in charge of how I speak to others, what I look at. And that's all I can do. And I think that then you're not as upset with society. You know, when people are really upset about things that like, t'as pas de contrôle sur ça. What's happening? Why are you so upset on the
I
internet?
don't get that.
I agree. When people are so upset about things on the internet, so vocal, and I'm like, but I feel like you can go and say these are my belief system, like I show up on social media with my belief system, with what how I show up, but like I don't spend vraiment rarely am I negative, like spending time, energy being negative on social media on other people's like beliefs and platforms. I just don't understand it.
It's like just like personally offended or like upset.
I see. Yes, you're like really upset and personally offended. But I'm like, then it means that you think your way is like the only way. Even if I truly believe that my way is like a good way, but I'm also very aware that everyone's way is their way. So I'm very much like open to being like, best, just because that's my way. It's my way for me. I really think I found my best way to like live life and whatever, but I don't think that it's the best way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I found my way, but I'm very much not judging people that don't do life the way I do it.
Yes.
But I definitely am confused by people that are very upset with how people don't live their lives like them.
It seems like a lot of energy.
Energy. Yeah. Yeah. But again, I wasn't always this person. Like, so I think you evolve and like you have life experiences and conversations that are important. And then you can like kind of like go back to earth. Like, ça fait du bien ça. What a fun way to show up, you and I, on podcast. Don't you love this so much?
I love it so much. I've missed our podcasting. I could podcast all day. It's one of my favorite things. And actually, I've been enjoying my little solo podcast on Friday.
Okay, you have. Okay, I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like my little like moment with my people, and I just update them, and I get tons of DMs. Like
It's probably like my Friday maintenance live.
it kind
I
of is.
love my Friday Jose's thoughts of the week. I actually don't call it the maintenance live anymore. So Jose's thoughts of the week, it's the same. You're having your Alicia's thoughts of the week. I'm having my Jose's thoughts of the week in two different ways. I think that people really enjoy that. I really like it too. Like every Friday, it's like that one coaching session that I'm like, perfect, easy peasy. I'm showing up and talking about what I think, which I love.
We're
Shocker. Shocked. Okay. Okay, love you, appreciate you, everyone. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye, guys.